In addition to discussing current challenges, including organizing large-scale events and tourism activities at the Pigeon Island National Landmark and other historical sites in Saint Lucia, the Saint Lucia National Trust, SLNT, hosted a press briefing on their efforts on Wednesday, May 29th. The conference coincided with a press release dated May 21st, which was issued in response to the Saint Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival's conclusion, the difficulties that mass crowd gatherings presented for the national landmark. Chairman of the SLNT, Leslie Prosper, told reporters that the best way forward for when it pertains to hosting mass crowds at heritage sites, particularly the Pigeon Island National Landmark, there must be a collaborative approach which factors the sustainability of the park and the proposed event.
We have met collaboratively with a lot of event organizers such as Event Saint Lucia, the Saint Lucia Tourism Authority, other event promoters, to ensure that the jazz festival occurred and occurred in a manner that was sustainable, not only for the festival itself, but also for the Pigeon Island National Landmark. So it has happened and it continues to happen, and we continue to encourage that collaborative approach.
Prosper further stated the park was never meant to host mass crowd events. He says the safe evacuation of attendees and carrying capacity are persistent issues that need to be dealt with when hosting mass crowd activities.
The park was not created, as I indicated in my press briefing, for mass crowd events. So there are issues relating to the safe evacuation of attendees and also the carrying capacity of the park. And these are the two, I would say these were the two main issues that we had to grapple with. We were advised by a consultant as to the maximum carrying capacity of the park, and I can indicate that that capacity was exceeded.
The director of the SLNT, Janine Compton-Antoine, further expounded the chairman's point. She notes the carrying capacity varies based on the type of event being held. For festivals such as the Saint Lucia Jazz and Arts Festival, which grows every year, it is inevitable to find a new location because the park can no longer facilitate the numbers. It is not only for preservation of the park, but for the safety of patrons as well.
The size of your crowd is increasing, so that in the medium term, we as Saint Lucians will have to identify an alternative location for mass crowd events because Pigeon Island is getting too small. As well as the chair has mentioned, the entrance, there's only three entrance and exits only on one side of Pigeon Island. So if you have an incident that happens and causes movement of a crowd, there are issues of safety. So as the chair has mentioned, safety was paramount at all times, a concern to the National Trust, which was brought up to the Events Company of Saint Lucia and the SLTA.
Colette McDermott, Deputy Chairperson of the SLNT, acknowledged and praised the continued growth and success of the Jazz Festival. However, McDermott raised the issue of the level of maintenance which is needed following the festival. She pointed out the difference between weddings, which takes place days apart, as opposed to the festival lasting for 4 consecutive days.
The effect is very, very, very significant and detrimental to this beautiful historic park. The success of the Jazz Festival has to be taken into consideration. It should be allowed to continue to be a success, and it will continue to be a success. Unfortunately, this area can't manage it. So that's the conversation that needs to be had. The conversation is not, let's not have jazz at Pigeon Island. The conversation is, how can Pigeon Island be a long-term asset for the people of Saint Lucia, as well as for jazz.
The representatives at Wednesday's press conference all advocated for the symbiotic relationship between heritage conservation, culture, and tourism, respecting each sector's values and properties. Guided by statutes like the Trust Act and Pigeon Island bylaws, the Trust works with travel operators and event planners to guarantee sustainable use of the landmark. To guarantee the venue management procedures are up to date, the SLNT has implemented preventative measures measures such as auditing festival activities held at the landmark. For Choice News Now, I am Chelsea Austinay.